Our in-house expert is Steven, so he's going to talk to us about what cryptocurrencies are and how they work and why these things matter. So, Steve?
So Bitcoin, as John mentioned, is the grandfather of them all, the first and largest cryptocurrency. The fundamental ethos of Bitcoin is there is no central authority monitoring the transactions taking place.
So I'm going to interrupt you if I can. And that is, that's the key, really. And so Bitcoin's value, and Steve, correct me if I'm mistaken, and the value of other cryptocurrencies is not set by the federal government saying, this is worth $1, or by an exchange rate, saying that $1 is worth, X number of yen. But instead, the value of a Bitcoin is based on supply and demand in the marketplace on these various cryptocurrency exchanges. Currently, Bitcoin trades at around $2,200 today. And that means that for every Bitcoin you have, the reason it's worth $2,200 is because someone else would give you $2,200 for this Bitcoin.
But Bitcoin isn't the only game in town when it comes to cryptocurrencies. There are two others that are very exciting as well. One is Litecoin, which is essentially Bitcoin, but with lower transaction fees and a faster network. This is based on code that originally emanated, I believe, from MIT. In addition to Litecoin, there's Ethereum. Ethereum is quite a bit different from Bitcoin, however. The Ethereum network utilizes Ether as its unit of exchange, and ultimately the point of the Ethereum network, though, is to facilitate smart contracts. And this is done via a Turing-complete scripting language, similar to C++, Java, Python. You can do lots and lots of very interesting things with it. And smart contracts surrounding this could be very powerful and create many, many use cases for the Ethereum network. We already have financial smart contracts. Equities that we trade are smart contracts. Bonds that are issued by companies or governments are smart contracts. Your mortgage is a smart contract. You go to the bank to buy a house. You get $300,000 to buy a house, and every month you pay some principal and some interest. And if you can't make that payment, then the bank gets your house. There are if-then statements there. And those same contracts could be executed on the Ethereum network if, once the technology matures and develops.
So as I'm sure people are wondering at home, and I know that I wonder, we have to allocate money, not in our registered investment advisor. We don't buy cryptocurrencies in that vehicle. We only buy publicly traded securities. But in our private fund, we do allocate to cryptocurrencies, and we have to decide which cryptocurrencies we like, on a relative basis, relative to one another, and whether or not we want to be long a cryptocurrency at this exact moment in time. We saw quite a correction last Friday. The cryptocurrency markets fell by more than 25%, and we were expecting that type of a fall because we saw kind of like a parabolic move in all of the charts, so we were on the sidelines waiting for it. But Steve, can you talk about the three currencies and how they relate to each other and which ones you find to be the most attractive based on your technical analysis and your fundamental analysis as well?
Right. So from a fundamental perspective, I'm very bullish on Ethereum, and I myself have a personal long position there because the power of smart contracts could be used to create real use cases for individuals out there. One thing, though, that I find very interesting from a technical standpoint when I think about Bitcoin versus Ethereum is the ratio of Ethereum to Bitcoin. During this run-up that we just saw, Ethereum was around 0.075 to 0.08 Bitcoin. And then, of course, we had this crash that John mentioned. And now now the crash has been halted, and the prices continue to go up. But Ethereum has been going up quite a bit faster recently, and that ratio has actually increased to 0.091 as I sit here. It feels like Ethereum will probably hit resistance around 0.1 Bitcoin, is what I would imagine. But until then, from my perspective, Ethereum seems like a better long play on a technical perspective right now than Bitcoin. But given the trends that we see, Bitcoin also has positive upward momentum right now.
All right, great. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for that information, Steve. We'll check back in a couple of weeks and we'll see how cryptocurrencies are trading. In the meantime, if you're looking for trends in other asset categories that you can access from your brokerage accounts, that's what we do. We find global trends, we put them on our website, and make them available to you. Trend following, we believe, is the safest way to allocate capital. It lets you participate in bull markets without having to suffer catastrophic losses on the way back down. So thanks for tuning in.
As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and subscribe for your answers.